Over to you, Dilip.
Welcome back after the break. So moving on to our second interesting, another innovative training session. Let me introduce another wonderful trainer for today's second training. He's a certified professional speaker and a presenter. Well, he's an author of a book as well. Anyone can guess the name of the book? The name of the book is The Courage to Worry. He works at Orido as a program manager and has joined Toastmasters in the year 2016. Served the EF Toastmasters as a club president and vice president membership. He has also served in various leadership roles in the area, division, and the district. So he's none other than our Toastmaster Ram Mohan Nair. For today's second training, may I request Toastmaster Ram Mohan Nair to take over the control and take us through the wonderful training session of today. Over to you. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Dilip. Now, we all know that forming a new club is in our DNA. It's part of Toastmasters' life. Even Club District Mission says that we build new clubs. So there's no question why we need new clubs. Now, who are a part of that building and sustaining? That's architects. As distinguished Toastmaster Shweta mentioned, 3 people. One, the first starting person is a sponsor. Then comes the coach or the mentor. Then comes the coach, if at all the struggle happens. Otherwise, coach never comes into picture. And I hope that we don't have to have a coach for a club. Only we can step with sponsor and a mentor. Now, let me start sharing my screen so that we can let me know once you can see it. Yeah. Fine.
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
it's a typical check, right? Can you see me and hear me? Answer is yes.
Yes, we can see you and hear you.
Now, who is a sponsor? That's a question we always ask. As per the definition of a sponsor, a person or an organization that pays for or contribute to the cost involved in an event. We might have heard it. Orido sponsoring Doha Marathon, or big shoe companies sponsoring runners. All the spaces we heard it many, many times. Now, to become a club sponsor, what is your take? To become a club sponsor, you need to have at least around $5,000 in your bank account and a willingness to spend that money freely. Right? The answer is wrong, wrong, wrong. To be serious, when I was asked to become a sponsor, I said, no, I am bankrupt. I don't have any money. I cannot be a sponsor. Because sponsor word itself is kind of confusing. And we know we live in a confusing world because Toastmaster, what is it? Toasting? That's what we get confused first, right? So I don't know why we come up with the name sponsor. It should have been an initiator or a founder. Anyway, so the simple question is that only 2 things that you need to become a club sponsor. First and foremost, a leader mindset. We are in Toastmasters where servant leadership is the only thing that works. And that's the most important, crucial thing that we need to become a club sponsor. Second, I would say, transparently, we need a little bit of time to spend. Once you have got these 2 things, you can be a club sponsor. Is it enough? Is it something more that we can expect? What do you want? Let me hear. If you can unmute yourself or put in a chat, what is your expectation to become a sponsor? Let me stop sharing so that we can talk or see people. What do you think? If you don't want to unmute, that's fine. Just put in chat, or if you're comfortable talking, just say what you are expecting to be after becoming a sponsor. I know I can see many of the existing sponsor or past sponsors, so they know what they got it, they wanted. Support the club, beautiful. Funds to contribute to the club's cause. Funding, yeah.
Any
Next.
problem arising with the club, they have to solve it, settle, see what's happening, make sure they're working well, the clubs.
That's more of a mentor, or if they're struggling, it becomes coach. Sponsor comes in the beginning. We'll talk about it, what exactly role. Okay, sponsor is somebody. I really like this analogy. Somebody said a sponsor is a mother of a club who gives birth. Okay, then the mentor and the coach is more like a father. Okay, not in every community, but again, that kind of an analogy we can use it. Is a person who takes care after that. So sponsor comes first, the most important person. Okay, right? So yeah, some people want to support it, and what's in it for me? That's a question. So let me start sharing again so that we can continue. If I can. I'll promise that I will not stop sharing because it's not an easy thing to start sharing. Okay. All right. You can still see it. I promise I will not stop sharing now. All right. So the question is, what is in it for me? Some people say, help others with the benefits of Toastmasters education program. We learned it. I want to give it to some other people who are not part of Toastmasters. The best cause that we can think of. It's a new learning experience. It's totally outside of our typical club experiences. Forming a new club. And it helps you enhance your leadership skills. And remember, I'm a project manager, but the experience that we get as a sponsor is totally different. It's a lot more. So you can develop project management abilities with that one. And you can expand your marketing expertise. If you've never done marketing, this is a platform that you can enhance that part. And earn credit towards achieving DTM status, Distinguished Toastmaster status. Distinguished Toastmaster Ajay Ravi had told, like, how can get the credits for DTM status. So this also helps you to get that credit. Now, here are the topics. Again, we'll cover it. Sponsors, duties, establish all the things we'll talk about it. Okay. Now, what are the duties of a sponsor? Organize a new club. So as I mentioned, analogy is a mother. Set up regular club meetings and do the complete paperwork and plan the charter presentation. We'll talk about it in details. But before that, let me ask you this question. How many types of clubs are there? Simplest answer is there are two, which is obviously we have got corporate and community. But again, there could be further subdivisions of community itself as advanced specialty clubs. Corporation is always one so far what we have seen it. Okay. Now let's look at it, how to form a corporate club. Okay. Of course, every time, always depend on how to build a new Toastmasters Club resources in the TMI website. Okay. That helps you. It gives you a step-by-steps of how to build a new club. All the informations are there. There are forms, there are promotional vouchers, all the things are there. Okay. Apart from this training, you can use those things. Always use that one. If you go into some places, there could be some missed URLs. What I would suggest is that go to resources from the start of it. So that's the best place to find all your material. There are promotional vouchers, find your voice, develop your leaders within you, like that. All about Toastmasters. All these brochures are help you to build that. Now, let's look at this training to see what I can help you with. For example, you may be working in a corporation. I work at Oridu, as Dilip just said. Now, is there a club there? Let's assume that there is no club in Oridu. That's my chance to introduce Toastmasters to the corporation. My friend is working in another organization. Oh, they don't have a Toastmasters club. Can I suggest to them? Right? So these are the ways that we can find out where is a possibility to form a club. It has to be a company, right? We'll talk about the criteria for that. So gather the information and how we can build a club. There are many corporate clubs. We'll talk about it. The first and foremost is identify the target. You just did it. My own office or my friend's office, from a gathering, I found out somebody is working for a corporation. Identify your target. What's the company? What's the size of the company? What's the location? What's the revenue? Are they in a place to support such a club? And who are the key contacts, the decision makers? And then you're digging deeper into the club, into the company to find out the strategies. Are they an organization which supports learning? Are there key initiatives applying there? Do learning comes as a priority for them? Look at their mission and mission statements. Those things will give you a good idea whether they are a potential place or not. And there could be some recent news articles. You can look at those things. Right? Now, this gives you an idea about a target. This is the most critical and most challenging area that I would say. That's why I'm spending more time in this. Okay. Identify a potential. Once you identified it, you need to introduce yourself. Olden days, we used to send letters and post, right? Those days are kind of gone, unless otherwise you don't have access to email of the person who is receiving it. Let's assume, or we can find a ways to get this email address, and then you have to send an introductory email, providing only preliminary information. Basically, what you're looking for is that email should trigger the thought in the company organization. Then a quick phone call saying that I sent an email. I just want to talk about Toastmasters clubs, benefits and everything. But again, don't be too elaborate. Okay, that is what we are looking for in a meeting. So as soon as you introduce yourself, look for establishing an introduction that you did it, right? Get that meeting. Okay. The meeting is the most important thing that you can convey the benefits of Toastmasters, how much it will cost, what is it you're looking for, all these pieces. Okay. Ask those questions with these people to expose how much they value communication and leadership skills. Okay. What is the personal development plan they're looking for? These are the things during the meeting you will be doing it. So set up an appointment, prepare for the meeting. How do we prepare? We already talked about it, right? What all things we did it. And share about other corporations who is doing it. For example, if I walk into a new company, I will say, by the way, Ooredoo has got it. Gulfar has got it. Gulf Exchange has got it. So you can just talk about all the existing corporate clubs. And there are many in the whole PMI website. But again, look at Qatar itself. You have got enough examples to talk. Now, always wrap your meeting with a value statement. Okay, what is the value the organization can get and each employee can get? That should be the departing message for you in the meeting. Okay. Now, we'll discuss the finances. The first question is that, yeah, I can form a club in the corporation, but is the company ready to pay for it? Or is it that the club members have to take it? I can tell you a simple example. Ooredoo used to pay for the Toastmasters club, but they stopped it after that. So now if I look at it, the members are paying by themselves. Okay, so that is something that we have to make sure that it's known to you. So be transparent with all the expenses, finalize its financial commitment from the company, and what portion of the club cost the company will pay. One good thing I can tell, typically the organization will offer a place to meet. That itself covers a lot of expenses, right? Now, next one is the most important thing. I keep saying everything is important, right? Yeah. But again, we need to have a demo meeting to showcase how this is done. Now, what are the parts of a demo meeting? Let's get into that. Okay. Once the moment you plan for it. Okay, now before that, let me just look into that one. From now on, two things. Doesn't matter whether you are forming a corporation club or community club. From now on, it's the same thing. How did you come to conclusion about a potential community club? Yeah, we all meet at one place. We are partying. Okay. There's a group of people meeting. I go for that one. So I said, okay, why not we form a club for them? For example, EF Toastmaster, Engineers Forum. Raghavan sir, distinguished Toastmaster Raghavan sir and other people thought about it. Why can't we have a Toastmaster club for this? It's a community group. Okay. That's how my club was formed 13 years back. And many people got benefited from that. So that is a thought, right? Can we offer a club for this community? You will be putting a lot of ads, right? From those pieces, we promote Toastmasters in that group, and then they talk about it. How, okay. End of the day, how will you achieve this? You go for a demo meeting. Demonstration meeting, yeah, we shorten up to demo, right? We publicize the meeting. We talk about contact local community organizations, display posters and announcements, and target those specialized groups. Engineers Forum, they have got annual meetings where we used to show our placards and Toastmaster banners and everything to just get attention. That's what we started off. Okay. So that's how we reach out to community clubs. Of course, I talked about EF Toastmasters. There are SDAN OASs, there's NARD Group, Green, like that many. Now, biggest question. I don't want to stop sharing. Okay. Question for you. Do you know, are you going to be alone in this journey, or are you going to get help from other people? Anyone want to unmute and say it?
We can get help from others.
Yes, it will be a teamwork.
That's right. That's right. Any other answer? Teamwork? Yes. So we'll talk about who are all the team members. First and foremost, let's understand it's not just one sponsor. You can have two sponsors forming a club. That itself divides your responsibility into half, right? You can have two mentors to support you. Then, of course, we have got the district director and club growth director helping you with that part. Because it's a district mission to form new clubs, and they will be there with you as a team member. Of course, we can bang on to other experienced Toastmasters to help you with that formation and sponsoring of club. So it's not just one person. We can have around minimum of 6-7 people coming together to support it. So once the team is formed, okay, then you have to make a demonstration meeting. What is it? Of course, in a demo meeting is almost like a typical Toastmasters club meeting. We can eliminate few roles, but again, the most important one is the presenter, the Toastmaster, right? Toastmaster of the day. Then comes the timer. Even for this training, we have got a timer. That's the most important thing, right? To have a timer, making sure that we start on time and end on time, because we value time. Then our counter, grammarian. These two roles, our counter and grammarian, I would say that it's, if possible, do it. That shows the value of the meeting, but again, it's not mandatory. But for sure, we have to have a general evaluator, because that's the critical part of any Toastmasters, getting the feedback at that time, right? Then you need to have a speakers. I would suggest keep it to like one. Then for that speaker, we have got an evaluator. Again, number of speeches matches with the evaluators. A topic master, another very important role, because table topics gives the opportunity to give opportunity to every member to come and speak. They should feel what they are overcoming. So topic master is important. I don't know how to say this one. We all know it, but again, keep the meeting within time limits. That's what we learn. Okay. Include 3 aspects. We talked about it. Prepared speeches. 1, I would say. Table topics, a few, or give the opportunity to the new members to, or not new members, the attendees to come and speak, and 1 evaluation. How do we form the team? You can select a team for the speakers, everybody from the expert Toastmasters. Okay. And again, for all the roles that you have to pick up from Toastmasters, I would suggest that way. In case if you are not finding anybody within Toastmasters, which is a very, 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 very unlikely point of view, but still, if you are not able to find it, especially in the corporate club, right? If they may not allow too many people coming into their office, if that case, get some volunteers from the organization. Tell them that don't talk too much. You don't have to talk much. Just make sure that it happens. Another important thing that you have to make sure that the decision makers of a corporation attends these meetings because they can see it firsthand and make a decision. Okay. And get sure that you get the information about each and every guest in a guest book. The contact details is very important for us to keep the communication flowing. Okay. Now, remember this one. It is a demonstration meeting is a sponsors, like sponsor members, opportunity to show prospective members how a Toastmaster meeting is conducted and what the Toastmaster program can do for them. A carefully, well-crafted meeting will excite prospective members and make them eager to form a club. So that's the most, it's a test of it, right? We have to make sure that it happens nicely. Now, what can be done before and after or during the demonstration? Few things that we had to talk about it. Before the demonstration meetings, you have to make sure that as appoint prospective members, we know that. As for volunteers, in case of corporation clubs, especially that's the case that we had to do it and ensure that we didn't have to speak, right? And during the demonstration, prospective members comes to lectern when called. That's the chance they need to get. Okay. And the Toastmaster of the day has to keep telling them what's going on, what's going to happen next. Okay. So that they have got a pretty good idea of the proceedings. Right. Each role, what their role is, and then explain it. Here's a quick sample of pictures that I took it from another demonstration meetings. Distinguished Toastmaster Rajesh VC was nice enough to be there. Distinguished Toastmaster Shadil Khader and Haris Babu. So we had a session just in a clubhouse. And it was a very nice demonstration meeting that we had it. And I believe that they are about to form a new club now. Now, what happens after the demonstration meeting? Okay. First and foremost, I would say, when you introduce the sponsors and mentors, tell them that the sponsor is not sponsoring anything. Okay. Because many times the members get confused. Oh, this person will take care of all the money. I don't have to spend it. Make sure that you are clear on that. Okay. Next, do not jump into forming a club. Yeah, demonstration meeting is over. Let's form a club. No. Maybe yes, but 90%, 95%, no. Even TMI website says that you need to have at least 7 to 8 meetings. That may be a little too much of a stretch, but again, our meetings are required for forming a club. The prospective members should feel, yes, I need this. It's a great value. Okay. So have the meetings as many as needed. And there is enough interest in each and every member. Okay. You may be knowing it. We need to have at least 20 members for that meeting. 17 has to be new members. 3 can be existing members. Okay. Please ensure that you're forming a club to help others and not just getting a credit for you, right? It could be a distinguished status for the area, or it could be a check mark in your DTM path. I would say that just avoid that. Okay. So after the demonstration, again, you can have a question and answer session. And again, if you can have Toastmasters share their success stories, why they did like it, that would be great. Okay. And then complete the application to organize the club. Clear? Now, that's another thing. Apart from corporations, again, even during corporation club also, we need to make sure that every member understand what is the individual cost they have to pay. Is it just the formation fees, or is it more than that? Is the corporation going to pay the entire thing? Something like that, right? If it's a community club, of course, the members are paying the entire amount. So do the calculation, make sure that they understand total cost of that membership. Okay, and then you submit the application and the charter fee. Quickly on the how to step the chartering part of it. Okay, in that day itself, you can announce the next meeting. After the demonstration, we are saying that when is the next meeting happening it, and then charter meeting. Select temporary officers. You have to have a president, VP, and few members of that one, right? You need to have that one. And then follow up with the reminder notices. Okay, we are going to meet again. I'm talking about the multiple meetings I'm talking about, right? We are having meetings multiple times. And of course, collect the dues, right? We need to have money, especially from the members or community clubs. Corporations, you might have collected from the corporation and pay to TMI. And pay the charter fee. And then conclude with a recognition. Who did all the work that should be recognized, right? Now, if you look at the website, I just pasted it here, the link. If you happen to see the presentation from TMI that gives a URL which doesn't work anymore, seems to be that after they moved everything, it's been broken, but make sure that this is the place. It's again, go to Toastmasters.org and then you will see the resources. Under that, you can see application to organize at Toastmasters Club. There are multiple forms. Right? If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. And then the presentation. Presentation is that you form the things, the club is formed, and the first meeting happening it. Always invite guests, plan the meal if you can afford to have it. License the charter presentation, form committees, and prepare a printed program and include a short meeting for that. Okay, so you are doing all the presentation for that. And of course, then comes the closing part of it, right? Then you have formed it, did it. You can now, I didn't even check what my timing is. It's still green. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, Sabna, keeping it green. All right, now, of course, there are more material to it, but again, I didn't want to bombard you with all the information in one go. If you may be attending for the first time about a club sponsor, and you know for sure you had to spend around $5,000, right? Now, you have got the bank money in your pocket. Okay, that part is clear. So if you have questions, I would say that yes, you need to have questions, otherwise it's a problem. So I would ask you to ask questions as much as you can. Any questions? Nobody? I know a lot of people I can see in this picture, at least the video on, are all experienced sponsors, right? They spend enough money from their pocket. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the time is money. So they have been spending a lot of time on the Toastmasters fraternity to make sure that they understand, they depart the same amount of information they gained to other members. First and foremost, again and again repeating, I became sponsor for 2 clubs. The first time I said no, then I realized there's no money involved. Then it was just a giving time. Okay, and at the same time, I'm learning. So I became a sponsor for the next club. So that is a nice journey that I had.
Ram, I have a question.
Sure, please.
So, what is the maximum number of sponsors a club can have?
Sorry, how many sponsors?
Sponsors a club can have.
Typically, you can have 2. That's what it is. It's only 2 people can have credits within TMI. So if you're looking for credits, only 2 maximum. Okay, minimum 1, maximum 2 sponsors has to be there. And a sponsor has to be there. That's another thing too. Another question I can say, Pramod is asking how to approach a corporate club, whom to contact. If you look at the presentation before, that is the most critical part of it, identifying a corporate club, whether they need it. If you go into MOI or any other sites, you can see the list of companies. Again, that may be too much of a throwing the dart at the dark, right? Instead of that, what I would suggest is that get to know your friend circle. Where are they working? Okay, that's the corporations. Simple question, do you have a Toastmasters club? And if the answer is no, then comes, yes, that's a target. That's a potential. They can have it. First question you have to ask yourself, I'm working at a corporation. Do we have got a top corporate club in our company? Answer is no, then it's a first potential. Now, whom to contact? Typically, a good sized organization will have got HR for sure, right? At a group, and within that they will have got a learning department. Understand this one, communication leadership, it's a learning thing. So that's the first point of contact you can go to, learning department. Catch hold of them. If there is no separate learning department, go to the HR team. That's the first thing. Gulf Exchange, we went directly to CEO. All right, that was a person, and then he was very much interested in Toastmasters, and then we formed the club, if you know it. Safari, I think it's the same thing. Safari Club, we went to the again CEO of the company. Typically, yeah, sometimes if it's not a huge of a company, you can go to that one. Companies like Oridu, it was just not learning department was helping it. Oridu is again formed, I don't know, 25 years ago, but at that time they realized, yes, it's a corporation, it's a big sized corporation. We can have four. Obviously, we have got clubs in Qatar Airways like that. So look at those companies where it is not in our list. That means there's a potential, and you know about the company. They don't have a again. Another thing is that they need to have enough revenue to support such a expense. Some clubs, some companies may not have that funding. Some companies, even if they have it, they may not be interested in spending on learning. So that's a challenge that we have to identify. Don't rush. What I would say is that do as much research and find out the possibility. Did I answer you, Pramod?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Ram.
Yes, please.
One last question from my side. Is it mandatory to be a club sponsor for you to be a distinguished Toastmaster? And if so, why? I
seen it like earlier. You could be one of those things. There are three clubs: club sponsor, mentor, coach, kind of things. And if you are only, that's a good question. I'm getting confused with that part. Earlier, there was a probability of having Rajesh. You may be knowing it if you can answer it. To my understanding, that is it's a must criteria that you have to have be a sponsor or a coach. One of the things. And of course, you have to serve in the district. That's again a must now. Earlier, that was not required to serve in the. You could be a club coach and mentor. One of the things was fine enough, but now being part of a district is must. And I believe that you have to have at least a coach or a sponsor. Rajesh, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. One of the things why club coach or mentor, that's those type of thing is when we go into a DTM, when we call. They say that there are two things which a member should accomplish. One is the communication as well as the leadership. The projects which we do in pathways comes into communication track, and they ensure that he has done sufficient communication projects so that he is capable to speak. That is what it indicates. That's a distinguished Toastmaster doesn't mean that he is great. Only thing is they ensure that he has completed so much of communication projects and he has completed so much of leadership project. In leadership project, it comes club coach, mentor, sponsor, youth leadership program. All these comes under leadership program. So that is the one which they consider. And second thing is about district officer. District officer is a leadership role. It's not a program. That also has to be accomplished. So difference between this club coach, mentor, sponsor is these are all a short-term programs or a short-term project. It can get completed within 3 months also. But generally they say for a mentor and a coach, you have to serve for 6 months. But if a club is doing well, some club leaders they're quick learners, they're very enthusiastic. I've been a mentor for around 6 to 7 clubs, and I have taught them within next 3 to 4 meetings. After that, my presence was not at all recorded. They were running the club much better than how I run. So it depends. So this is a short-term project for leadership, and district officer's role is a role for 1 year, a long-term project. That is how Toastmasters sees it.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Shweta, you had raised your hand, sir.
Yes, I didn't exactly have a question, but I think one of the reason why it was actually called as a sponsor in Toastmaster is because we are not providing money, but we are providing to the organizations or to the lead something much more beneficial than money. There is that, and we are also providing them a platform and also the resources required to basically establish a Toastmasters clubs for their organization, for the community as well. So that is something I wanted to add up. So maybe that is the reason why they call it sponsor. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So the point is, what I'm saying is that we many times go against normal terms, normal terminology. Toast, yeah, everybody thinks that it's even like I was just watching 2024 World Championship speeches also. She was, I don't know how to cook. You're asked to become a Toastmaster. That's the first confusion we get it. And sponsor, I don't know, normal term, we have been so used to sponsorships, right? Sponsorships, and all of a sudden we are becoming a sponsor. Oh, that guy is going to pay everything. Fantastic, I can join the club. No, he's not paying anything. You're paying.
Actually, I'd just like to add something. Even when we talk of sponsorship, it's not always money, because there are also sponsorships in kind. So when you say sponsor, it does not mean only money. So this is one of those sponsorships, I believe, where it's not money, it's the services. So
My
in
question to you,
actual,
is it that comes to your mind first when you hear about sponsor of kind or money?
well, being in the business, it comes both, because we do have companies that want to give us in barter. So
No,
we
I'm
do,
talking about, my question is that in a
yeah.
typical world of 90% situations, let's exclude the
The
10%.
instant, yeah, the instant thing you think of cash, but when you think of a little,
Nobody
it's
thinks more than that. First thing that we
yeah.
hear is sponsorship. Oh, yeah, sponsor. It's a paid member thing. Okay, sponsorship. I'm talking about 90%.
Yeah.
After that, we can clarify. Okay, so that's a clarification. I'm also doing it. Please understand, in Toastmasters, words doesn't mean the normal things. Sometimes we go for the exceptions. Right. I think that's all done. Thank you very much for your time. And let's move on to the next one. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster Dilip.
Well, wonderful session. Thank you, Toastmaster Ram, for the wonderful session on club sponsor. And yes, you definitely don't require 5,000 US dollars in your bank account or whatever the equivalent of the reals to start a club sponsor. I've been here myself, being a sponsor to one club last year. So it's all about your contribution and your support to the club which you give as a sponsor. So of course the members will pay for their membership fees. So thank you so much, and a big round of applause for our trainer Ram Mohan. So while we proceed to our next session, we'll again have a 5-minute stretch break and social. So feel free. So time is 3:55. So 4 o'clock, we'll again continue, go for the third training, the last training for today's TLI series. So until then, please unmute yourself, switch on your cameras, and feel free to talk.